Throughout our history, ordinary people have done extraordinary things, illuminating our potential. They inspired movements, created the impossible, and destroyed the indestructible. Ordinary people chose to change the world, chose to dream, to build, to hope, to always hope. And if there's hope for one of us, there's hope for us all. Now it's your turn to reimagine civilization and build something you believe in.
Well, Civilization VII is going to be with us on 6th of October, which is really, really exciting. Can't wait. I feel like it's been one of the longest waits we've all been waiting for, and that is the sequel to Civilization VI. After, I know everyone's got their own opinions. What's been the best civilization ever? Some will have, some will say Civilization 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I don't think it really matters all that much. Every single one has been enjoyable. Every single one, I feel, in some way or another, has improved on the previous version, whether that's just been graphically, which it hasn't been. There's definitely been improvements at every single iteration that we've seen over the years. And there's been some questionable decisions with each iteration. Does that really work? Do we really enjoy it? Is there a point to it? Could it have been left out? There's been plenty of those things. However, I feel in general, over the progression of civilization through all the iterations, in general, we've seen the game grow and expand, and they can't just recycle the previous version, redo the graphics, and have no creative expression to bring something new to the game. Otherwise, the franchise would get old, it would get stale, people would lose interest eventually. However, they've managed to keep their fan base growing, bringing in more and more players every single iteration. And in general, I think they've improved every single time. Yes, there's been some questionable additions to some of the iterations, but they're not. It's not always going to be 100% perfect. All we can ask for is that they do justice to the franchise, but keep on progressing the game. Yeah, we want them to bring in new things. Otherwise, what would it be just to play a game that we played before, but the graphics are a little bit better? We don't want that. There needs to be improvements and there needs to be change. But keeping the foundations of the game that we love and know there to enjoy. And I think that's what they will do again. I look forward to the 7th iteration. I've been playing it since the very first Civilization because I am that old. I was about 10 years old when I was playing it, and I've enjoyed every single iteration through the ages, and I can't imagine I will be any different with number 7. So I know there's plenty of things to talk about with the information that's been released, and I know I'm pretty much missing that gravy train of them releasing the information. However, this sort of thing is totally new to me, so yeah, I've kind of been procrastinating because I just didn't know how to really go about it, but I wanted to do it, and I wanted to talk to you about it, and I also want to hear from you about what you think about it too. So yeah, I look forward to having your input back in the comments about your expectations, whether they're good, bad, and everything. However, we just opened with the reveal for the narrator. So Gwendolyn Christie is going to be the narrator, and obviously she was mainly known for her part in Game of Thrones. I don't really know her that well from Game of Thrones. I did start to watch it back in the day. I never finished watching it. I didn't get too into it. I think I only managed a season, maybe. So at this point, I don't even remember whether I saw her in it. However, what she's been in and what she's done is irrelevant. What matters for a narrator for Civilization is the aura of their voice. Someone that can capture the imagination and that everyone can feel inspired by. And that's what we've had over the years. Sean Penn, Leonard Nimoy, and it's been, I, from her tone of voice, I think she is probably perfect. And I'm excited about having a female do the narration as well. I feel like that changes it up nicely. But she's still going to bring that aura of voice with her as well. So yeah, I look forward to that, and I think it's a good decision. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with the Civilization reveal video, and I'm going to let it play, and I'm going to come back to you, and we're going to sort of discuss anything that really jumps out at the time that we need to sort of. That's going to be a big talking point, I think. So I'm going to get to it, and I hope you're all looking forward to it as much as I am. All right, guys, let's watch.
Hello, Civ fans.
Hi, Sid.
On behalf of all of us here at Firaxis Games, we'd like to welcome you to a first look at the next chapter in our Civilization franchise, Civilization VII. You know, looking back 30 years ago, Civilization was created during a time when we were still learning what games could really be. We were searching for that next big challenge to take on, which led us to thinking, what...
Sorry, I just had to pause there because I just want to say like how much of a part Sid Meier played for me when I first discovered what a PC was and games that weren't Minesweeper and Solitaire. And the first two games were Sid Meier's games, Civilization and Transport Tycoon as well. And I mean, they really spoke to me in really great ways and gave me a lot of comfort and happiness, and endless hours of enjoyment playing them. And I think something that worked so well for me with his games is just the structure of the games. Just appealed to me so much. And I don't know if I put this out there before, but so I'm autistic. So it might be something to do with the structure, maybe the pace as well. You know, you can take your time a little bit. But yeah, a lot about the structure of his games. And the two titles, Civilization and Transport Tycoon, were fundamental in my passion and love for video games back in the day. Anyway, a long time ago. Anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to let him speak.
Big challenge to take on, which led us to thinking, what could be greater than putting the entire history of the world into a video game and make it fun. 3 decades later, it's because of your passion, your love for Civ, that we're still here today. In every game of Civ, you've gone on a journey to build an empire to stand the test of time. And now the journey continues. Prepare to take just one more turn on February 11th, 2025, when we launch Civilization VII across PC and consoles, all on day one.
Just one more turn. I want to know how many of you have been stuck in that one more turn scenario. But it's not just one more turn. I mean, it's almost an everlasting one more turn. So you know it's already getting late. It's sort of, I don't know, getting towards midnight. You know you've got to get up in the morning and carry on. And you're playing just one more turn, just one more turn, and then next thing you know, it's sort of 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, okay, there can't be any more turns. I need to stop now. So yeah, how many of you sincerely get carried away with it, lost in that building of your empire, the game, and just wanting to carry on that progression and overcome that next hurdle and then the next hurdle? Because yeah, I've definitely been a victim of that, but it's a part of the genius of the game, I guess. It works so well and keeps you captivated and wanting to keep going, and then keep coming back for more and more and more, game after game as well. All right, Sid, carry on.
For the first time in franchise history, this is by far the biggest, the most ambitious game we've ever made at Firaxis. It represents a significant gameplay evolution for the Civ franchise, and it's a game we plan to support for many years to come. Today, you'll learn about the vision for the game, the driving force that inspired our biggest new feature. You'll see your Civ world brought to life like never before, and you'll discover why Civilization VII promises to be a revolutionary new chapter in this franchise that we all love so dearly. Please enjoy.
We will.
Civilization is the foundation of Firaxis. Whether you've been playing since the MS-DOS days or have joined us more recently, we're so grateful for your continued passion and support. When you walk around our studio, you can feel the energy and excitement. You can see how inspired our people are to come in and build the next Civ game.
Civilization is the ultimate historical strategy game. Your goal in Civ is to build an empire to stand the test of time. You select a civilization, led by a famous historical leader, and guide your Civ's journey across the entire span of human history. You shape your empire piece by piece, from what technologies you want to research to what your society to up.
Pressing the wrong button to pause it here. Sorry if I cut out the video there. Anyway, just got to say, so on the impressions we're getting so far of the look of the game, and probably mainly what I'm sort of trying to talk about is the cities, I guess. And that's obviously in Civilization VI, we had the ability to build the districts and neighborhoods and whatnot, but they've definitely continued down that road, and yeah, I guess they've reached a point, managed to create sprawling cities. I mean, they look so much different and impressive. I think they look really, really nice from what we're seeing. And at this point in the development as well, when we're only a matter of months away, really, that is pretty much what we're going to be getting. But yeah, they look absolutely gorgeous. And my only worry at this point is, how much is it going to melt my PC? Because it's not that good, really. So we will see anyway. But I'm guessing it probably have some graphical settings cranked down a little bit just so it doesn't melt the PC. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Uphold. And you compete with others on the world stage, engaging in diplomacy, negotiating alliances, and sometimes going to war.
In every Civilization game, your empire has always been represented by a single civilization.
I like the that new dynamic where you've got your leader and obviously the leader you're dealing with on the stage together, as it were, and they've got that sort of dynamic between each other. Yeah, that's a real nice touch. Something they've probably missed in previous editions. So whoever came up with that idea, I think it's a nice little touch. So yeah, lovely.
You play through the entire span of history as that one civilization. This time around, we want to take you on a new journey.
For the first time ever, in Civilization VII, the story of your empire isn't just that of a single civ, but seven.
I know. The controversial talking point. Yeah. Takes from humankind, millennia. They've got to keep changing it up. Like I said right at the beginning of the video, you know, they can't just take what they had before, give it a fresh lick of paint and be done with it. They have to bring in new ideas, new concepts, you know, and they brought in so many in Civilization VI, and you know, as they did throughout the iterations as well. And yeah, they've got to come up with some new ideas. And yeah, so the controversial talking point is, you know, are some of these ideas ripped straight from games like Humankind or Millennia? Maybe. However, Humankind, Millennia, they were meant to be the games that were here to challenge civilization. They were wanting to be the new boy in town, but they didn't quite hit the nail on the head. And they had some good points, but none of them really hit like Civilization hit. Now, what I can trust from Civilization, we're in the 7th iteration now. We will be. And they've never really failed in what they do. Yes, like I said before, there's been some questionable things that they brought into the game, and maybe some less enjoyable than others, sure. But overall, they've never really let us down. They've never really failed. They've just churned out brilliant games time and time again. What I can trust from them is they'll bring these ideas in and they will implement it in a way that works so well with the foundations of what the game is already. And it will just, as controversial as it is, I'm excited to see how it affects the game, how it changes the game, how it changes how we go about playing the game. And yeah, I think no sort of bad sort of talk about the developers of Humankind or Millennia, but I can trust, I have faith that Civilization, Sid Meier, Firaxis, they will do a job implementing that sort of thing so much better. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, sorry, I am a rambler. Let's carry on with the video.
Several connected together through time. At the dawn of each new age of human advancement, you'll select a new civ to represent your empire. You'll build on and carry forward your previous achievements while unlocking new gameplay bonuses to reinforce.
I was going to say, just if we just knock it back. I mean, look at that. Look how, you know, it's the same game essentially, but look how much they've developed it. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and clearly the way that cities grow and expand has just been taken up that level, that little bit more, and they are looking absolutely fantastic. This, you know, watching it here on YouTube isn't going to do it justice to how we're going to be able to enjoy it and see it visually at home. And yeah, I cannot wait to see how gorgeous it is right in front of me in the real game. But anyway, let's crack on.
Your previous achievements while unlocking new gameplay bonuses to reinforce or pivot your strategy. And by the end, you'll have forged a unique path through history. To show you what we mean, let's take you through the story of one such empire.
Just wanted to stop it again, just for clarification as well. I've actually put off watching this because I wanted it to be a first time watch with you guys. So you guys are watching me watch it for the first time. Yeah, I've seen little snippets and heard little bits. You know, you can't avoid it really. But yeah, for this whole presentation, I've not watched it. And yeah, this is all first time for me. So yeah, you're getting my genuine first time reaction to seeing all of this as well, and hearing all the little in detail bits.
It is the dawn of a new age. The age of antiquity.
See, great voice.
Where humanity begins to take its first steps into the annals of history. The great pharaoh, Hatshepsut, leads the civilization of ancient Egypt. Among the arid desert lands and a winding river, the seeds of our people are rooted in sand and water. To discover what treasures and dangers lie beyond, a brave scout begins to survey and map the surrounding lands. As our population grows, a new granary is built to store food for hungry mouths. Its location decided, a new district.
So I just thought I'll pause it there again. So noting that the settlers are called founders now. Even when they go to expand parts of an existing city. I know that already. I've not been able to avoid those sort of snippets from the game. But if we just go back and yeah, I'm just going to play it again.
Grows. A new granary is built to store food.
Yeah, see the landscape, some of the map ideas and designs definitely giving me humankind kind of vibes. Again, I don't mind. It's all progress, and you know, sometimes you have to borrow ideas from other places. But yeah, never before we've had mountain ranges and whatnots, and we've had cliffs at the edge of land where you meet the sea, but never have we had cliffs, impassable inland cliffs. So yeah, it's a clear addition that's come from somewhere else. I mean, you know, maybe it's an idea in there making a long time before the other games came out. But anyway, it's still a nice addition. You know, it's another new part of the game that we're going to have to adapt to and learn to deal with as we play the game.
Food for hungry mouths. Its location decided, a new district is formed, and construction begins. With more food available, our people look to make improvements to the land. An ancient fruit ripe for cultivating is spotted. Dates will provide more sustenance for our citizens, and their sweetness will make the people happy. A plantation is constructed to harvest this valuable resource. Over time, our city continues to grow as more urban and rural developments spring forth. We pursue advancements in technology to serve the needs of our people. Breakthroughs in irrigation further enhance our food production, while sailing unlocks our...
I'm just gonna bring it back a sec because I was just wondering about certain parts. So right here, if we're going off of Civ 6 and a feature in there, certain things would give you a culture, well, a culture bomb, a border bomb, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not sure what we've got going on here exactly. But to my eye, whatever is constructed, along with possibly this place here, is it a, you know, through constructing whatever this is, you know, do you get that border around it, sort of one tile out? It would look like that to me, from these improvements. Maybe this one as well, because we got it obviously around here, and this improvement here, we've got it around here as well, and then this one out here looks like it's all the way around here. And then these obviously the city expanding, like neighborhoods, I would guess. Yeah, curious, but yeah, to my eye, that is what it looks like is going on here.
The needs of our people. Breakthroughs in irrigation further enhance our food production, while sailing unlocks our ability to traverse the nearby waters. It is now possible to journey further and expand our empire. With a deft hand, our scout travels along a navigable river. Their tenacity is rewarded with the discovery of a breathtaking series of waterfalls. This natural wonder of the world attracts the imagination of our people, and brave settlers begin the long trek to claim new land for the Egyptian Empire. A new town.
I wonder, with the introduction into navigating rivers, are they able to navigate their way down rivers faster than perhaps they would along the land? I mean, if there is a point to it, would it be that can you navigate the rivers more efficiently, rather than trying to make your way across the land? It's an interesting, and I'm sure there'd be more use of the rivers as well, other than navigating down them. But it's yeah, curiosity again, you know, being able to actually go down the rivers. Can you get down them quicker? We will find out, I guess.
Town is established near the majestic falls. A town starts from humble beginnings and is initially used to gather nearby resources. Perhaps in the future, this town will grow large enough to specialize and gain its own identity as a city. Our expansion does not go unnoticed. A foreign scout is spotted, revealing the existence of a nearby independent power. Initial hostilities are tempered over time as friendly relations begin to form. And peace does not dampen our ambitions. Our people strive forth to create great wonders the world has never seen before. As we continue to expand and explore the continent, we encounter new civilizations. They are eager to engage in a bartering of ideas and goods. Trade routes are established, providing mutual access to each empire's resources. But our rapid growth does not go unnoticed. Our neighbors' ambitions rival our own, setting us on a collision course. War is no longer avoidable. A great army.
Yeah, again, I like that dynamic where you got the two leaders together, like a bit of pageantry in front of you, acting out sort of what they're thinking and how they'd be looking at each other should whatever is happening is really going down. So yeah, I like it. It's a nice little addition.
Is raised, led by formidable commanders who spur our forces quickly across the land. Spears and arrows make way for iron swords and armor. The battles are fierce. We emerge victorious.
An fabulam recte egi.
But the challenges of this age have shaken our mighty Egyptian empire to its core. The world changes. We feel the pages of history turn as the age of antiquity comes to a close. A new age of human advancement approaches. The age of exploration. A new age brings forth new challenges and new opportunities. New technologies to research. New resources to acquire. New lands to explore.
So obviously that's a change to the dynamic of the game as well through the ages, and with and obviously they're bringing it in with the sort of different leaders, which again inspired from, you know, you can only imagine where. Yeah, I do feel like it's going to bring a new and really interesting dynamic to the game, one where you can really get a lot more variety, mix it up. I mean, yeah, there's surely now there's going to be so many variations of how you can go about playing the game. And, you know, I think with how far we are down the line from Civilization VI, you know what you can bring to the table, bringing in different governments and beliefs and, you know, all that sort of thing. But yeah, I do feel like there could be scope for so much more variety in how you develop and grow your civilization. It's not just a linear kind of journey for you with a few little options as you go down the line. This is, you know, this is full on route changing aspects to the game. So yeah, could definitely be an interesting aspect to the game. All right, let's carry on.
If we are to take on the challenges of this new age, we must adapt and select a new civilization to represent our empire. One that is better equipped to take on the challenges of the exploration age. This new civilization builds on top of its past legacy, and our actions in this age will inevitably influence a future yet to come. As we evolve, so too.
So, yeah, I do like that fact that they're bringing this in. And I'd say probably that is one of my gripes from Civilization VI. As you change governments through the ages, you're building, you can make a lot of decisions for your empire based on attributes that your current government sort of brings to you. And then you work your way through the game, you reach the ability for the next sort of tier of governments. And what you'd built and been working with from previous government is now, you just got to throw that away. Whatever benefits you had from that and implement it into your civilization because of those beliefs, or not beliefs, but benefits and whatnot a certain government brought, they're now gone. and you have to have a completely clean slate. So, yeah, I do feel like it is a fair thing to do, because it's shaping your civilization through the ages. It's not just like, oh, well, this works for you in this age, and then what worked for you in that age no longer works for you. You're going to have to work with something else. And then, you know, that keeps changing through the different governments. I'm using governments as an example. However, you know, I feel like that's just the most glaringly obvious example out there. I do feel like this maybe ties in your journey from the very beginning to the end, and it connects it all together a lot better in what you've done to shape and grow your civilization, the choices that you've made, rather than it being very separate and blocky through different sort of periods of the game. You know, by the time you come to the end, you'll have a very unique civilization that's benefiting from all the decisions you've made throughout the ages, and they're all kind of interconnected, and they're all stay relevant. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about that and trying it out, obviously, as we get there.
Who do our neighbors? The stage is set. A new age begins. Will you follow a path set by history? Or will you pivot and forge something anew? What kind of empire will you make? What strategies will you pursue? The future is yours to create. In Sid Meier's Civilization VII.
All right, let's learn about the ages.
The journey of Hatshepsut, brought to life by our wonderful new narrator, Gwendolyn Christie, is just one potential path you can take in Civilization VII. This is made possible by our biggest new feature, Ages. Ages are inspired by a transformational idea for Civ, that history is built in layers. This idea is a way of understanding how civilizations have grown, changed, and evolved over time.
Think of the first civilizations of the world as creating an initial foundation. As a civilization grows, new layers are added to that foundation in the form of things like technologies, schools of thought, and cultural norms. At some point, civilizations, faced with a crisis that defines their time, must evolve. When that happens, these past layers don't disappear. Instead, they now serve as a new foundation for the new civilization. As the cycle repeats, connecting the past, present, and future together.
Which makes complete sense. You know, before this, through the years of playing Civilization VI, it was something that just didn't make sense to me. They were throwaway things, and they became, you know, in an instant, something that you'd been using to make decisions on within building stuff in your cities or your armies, or you know, various different things. It suddenly became, you know, from one turn to the next, becomes irrelevant, and something else has to be the focus. This makes so much more sense, and yeah, I'm really glad that they have brought something like this in. Anyway, let's carry on.
Instead of playing as one single civilization across every age, you'll evolve your empire into a new civilization for each new age. One that is suited to take on the historical challenges of that time.
Every age is designed to be like a historical sandbox, as a way to really immerse yourself in that time. Almost everything inside an age is exclusive to that age. That includes things like which technologies and civics you can research, what resources are available to be gained, which independent powers surround you, to even things like gameplay systems and civilizations, all unique to that age.
Having unique civs for each age is something we're really excited about. In the past, every civ needed to be balanced across a game that spans all of history. This naturally resulted in things like late-era civs being strong in the late game, but weak early on. Now, we can balance around the age itself. This means we can give every civ bonuses, units, and buildings that are always relevant and powerful. Having exclusive civs per age is also great for historical immersion. Every age feels like an epic showdown of some of the great powers of that time.
We'll have 3 ages for you to play. The Antiquity Age, when agricultural societies begin to cluster into urban centers, forming the foundations of the first civilizations. The Exploration Age, when the desire for precious commodities from distant lands spurs empires to stretch across great oceans. And the Modern Age, a period of incredible technological growth and global conflict, where mankind goes from the development of the steam engine to the splitting of the atom. Every age can be played on its own or woven together into a full campaign.
In past games, civs and leaders were always...
That's going to be an interesting one as well, because I know there are so many of you out there. Maybe not you, but there are definitely people out there, and me included. There is something about the early game that is just so special. You know, where you start out with nothing and you want to get those foundations of a civilization laid. Yeah, it's right. Sorry about that. Dog's doing crazy things in the background. I've got to try and regain my train of thought now. Yeah. Oh yeah, the early game. So yeah, there's something special about that early game period. I definitely will be mostly playing the whole game. But it'll be nice if you just want a quick, short game and you really enjoy a particular part. And I think, if I had to guess, for most people, if they were to do that, it would be that early game period as well. Age, should I say. So yeah, interesting addition.
Is tied together and came as a package deal of agendas, abilities, units, and more. With civs being exclusive to ages, we're excited to introduce a new innovation for leaders. For the first time in franchise history, leaders are now selected independently from civilizations. You can now mix and match unique parts of different civs and leaders, unlocking all new strategic combinations, staying true to Civ's spirit of experimentation. For players who want to stick to more historical pairings, a useful indicator will appear on the Civ selection screen.
We're also taking the opportunity to expand.
Yeah, I like this as well, because I mean, it's always been great being able to pick and choose your favorite civs, and essentially you can still do that and you can still follow that route that makes most sense to that leader or civilization. However, now it can really be your own civilization. Yes, it might go by a certain name or face or whatever, but this will now truly be a creation of your own, and you know, you can essentially mold it to your own image, within reason, I'm guessing, but still, it's going to be a lot more of a expression of your vision, your ideas, and yeah, how you want to play the game and get through the game as well. So yeah, it's good.
Expand who we consider to be a leader in Civilization VII. We'll continue to have traditional heads of state such as Hatshepsut, but we're also excited to have new leaders in areas such as philosophy, religion, science, and more.
Having leaders stay the same across ages helps bring a sense of who you're playing against in Civilization VII. It also gives you the opportunity to keep the theme of evolution going. As your empire evolves from one age to the next, it's important that your leader grows as well. All leaders now have attributes that can further specialize their skills. These attributes can be gained in a variety of ways, from completing narrative events to rewards for researching certain technologies and civics. Overall, leaders are getting a huge upgrade. They're more powerful, more varied, and more strategically interesting than ever. We cannot wait for you to discover your new favorite leader in Civilization VII. When one age ends and you begin an age transition, it is an incredibly exciting moment. You'll select a new civilization to represent your empire in the new age. You'll choose parts of your past civ to carry forward into the new one. And the game map literally expands, filled with new independent powers to befriend, new resources to acquire, and new discoveries to be made.
During an age transition, there are a few factors that determine which civ you can evolve into. This includes any historical connections between your previous and future civ, your choice of leader, and even certain gameplay decisions that you made in the past age. Every civ plays differently. Across your game, you might want to stay as true to history as possible, only selecting civs that have historical ties to each other. Or you might switch to civs that fit your strategic needs.
There are so many possible paths to explore, so many different choices you can make. The potential for strategy in Civilization VII is nearly endless.
Again, yeah, it's just emphasizes again how nice this will be for people to... There's always been a need to be able to adapt your gameplay. So you can start a game and you can, I'm going to be this civ and I'm going to play to these strengths. However, once you get into the game and your starting location or your neighbors might have a much bigger sort of part to play in how you play the game, and you've got to be able to adapt. Like, okay, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to need to try and play this way instead. And your whole, yeah, your whole vision of how that game was going to play out is now changed. But it was more, it was more black and white. So how your vision was, how it was going to play out was black. And then how you have to respond to it not quite being working out was just, you had to, it was almost like a set response to the situation. Now, I feel like there's a lot more variable options that you can go, I'm going to change it to this route because that's going to allow me to go down this route. And rather than just being a change in response to a situation, you can genuinely look at your environment and your own vision, I guess, of how you want the civilization to be. And be like, this is how I want to go. This is the route I want to go because I want the civilization to be like this. Or I want to go down this route because I want to benefit from this situation that I find myself in, whether it be the lay of the land or the civilizations that surround you, whatever. There's definitely going to be more variations to how you navigate your way through the game and to the end game.
Something we hear often from players is about how when you play a game of Civ, you forget the world around you. Video games, more than any other medium, have this ability to completely immerse you in another universe. Whether it's through art, music, cinematic moments, or language, our goal is to bring your Civ world to life.
Getting the look and feel for Civilization VII right is critical. So it's important to make sure we are capturing that through our art style. I spent a lot of time as a kid in museums, especially in the diorama sections. And being able to walk by and see these little miniatures that aren't moving, but there's a story told in them, was something that I always found intriguing. Technology changes every time we put one of these games out, and each time we put one out, we can do more. And we're at a spot in the industry now where we've just got a lot of tools and a lot of power under our belts to represent the entire world of Civilization. We're hoping that the players can look into this game, see the diametric detail on this, and tell their own stories that they've never told before. Everything is going to fit together in such a different way than it has in the past from Civilization, and I think it's going to give you a much more realistic version of the simulation that you're trying to create. We took a lot what we learned in the Civ 6 and learned from that, trying to open up some more spaces and everything. And we adjusted the tone from 6 a bit, and I think it's what our fans are looking for, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for them. It's something that nobody else is doing, and nobody but Firaxis can do.
I know a lot of these are for cinematic purposes and not necessarily, you know, what you're going to experience in game while you're playing the game. It does look good. Real nice art concept to the whole thing. And yeah, even though this is still for sort of cinematic purposes, I can still appreciate it, and you can get a good idea of what the game is going to feel like, look like while you're playing it.
I think players will love how combat looks. We greatly expanded the variety of units in Civ 7. Units now constantly engage one another. You'll see and hear the clashing of swords and steel. Units have a higher level of fidelity than ever before. Everything from the little parts and pieces and details on the armor set to the entire representation of a whole army on a battlefield. I feel like this is going to become your Civ. Like this is the one. It has the look.
Firaxis takes its representation of different cultures in Civ 7 very seriously. Language is a critical part of Civilization. It's how people tell their story. This is important because we are trying to teach through this game, and it's important to our players. They want to see their cultures represented correctly. In many cases, some players have never seen their cultures represented anywhere else. It brings great pride and joy to be able to see themselves included in the history of the world.
Music also plays an important role in bringing out the spirit and essence of each civilization. Every Civ has its own theme, and we're excited to share that Chris Tin, who composed the Grammy Award-winning theme Baba Yetu for Civilization 4 and the main theme for Civilization 6, is returning for Civilization 7, and we cannot wait for you to hear it.
We can't wait either.
Today represents just an initial look at what's to come in Civilization 7. We have so much more to share, from gameplay deep dives to first looks at new leaders and civilizations, to what you can expect from Civ 7 post-launch.
Sid Meier's Civilization 7 releases on February 11th, 2025, and is available to pre-order today. Players who pre-order Civilization 7 will receive the Tecumseh Shawnee Pack. And if you haven't already, be sure to create a 2K account and sign up for our Civ newsletter to receive the latest updates. Doing so will unlock the exclusive Emperor persona for Napoleon in Civilization 7. And as a special thank you, if you use that same 2K account to play Civ 6, you'll automatically unlock Napoleon's revolutionary persona in Civ 7. Check out our website at civilization.com for full details, and be sure to follow Civ for all the latest.
We hope you enjoyed this first look at Civilization 7. The entire team at Firaxis has been working very hard to make sure we deliver a game that gives you more reasons to take just one more turn.
As we welcome Civ 7 into the Civ family, I think back to the legacy of Civilization, the 30 years of development, refinement, iteration, exploration, of the millions of players that have contributed, of the billions of hours that have been played. I'm so proud to be here for this moment welcoming Civ 7 into the family. February 11th, 2025 isn't too far away. We're excited to be taking this journey with you.
Wow. Thanks, Sid. Well, might as well watch the end of the video. But yeah, I'll definitely come back for more as we get more information and there's something relevant to talk about as well. But yeah, overall, I just want to reiterate the importance of progress within the franchise as well, and that we should be excited about the changes that they're making. The only thing that I would have concerns about is what appears to be a focus on additional content that that we saw it in Civilization VI with the DLCs, leader packs and whatnot. I don't want it to become a game where you only get half a game and then you got to keep on buying. That would be disappointing. Even though I'm sure we're still all buy the extra content as well. However, I don't want it to be. I don't want them to get carried away with additional content that you got to keep on paying you good money for. That would be disappointing. However, yeah, on the game specifically though, excited about the changes. I can't wait to get my hands on the game and explore the new features. And really excited by the extra dynamics of the game that are going to give you so many more options and routes, and it's going to enable you to play so many more games that are unique each and every time we play it. And I think that's something that probably is about time we got, and probably we probably only just can really be expecting it with the way games can be made and developed. When Civ 6 was made, obviously it was made in the making years before it was actually released, and they had to work with what they could develop games with at that time, and it was still an amazing game. But now they've got the ability to bring so many more dynamics to the game, which is going to make the game unique almost every single time we play it, if we wanted to. Yeah, some people might want to fine tune exactly how they like to play it. They like to benefit from using certain routes and abilities and leaders, and they might want to keep down a very strict path. But I like variety. I like changing up and exploring different routes and seeing just what you can do with what's at your disposal. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that variety, and I can't wait for February 11th. Let's finish out this video. Right. Well, there we have it. And yeah, like I said, if there's stuff to come back and talk about, I will make another video in the future talking about different things that they release in good time. But yeah, they're my views on the game. Really looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. Can't wait to get playing and getting some content out there for you guys as well. Let me know exactly what you think, if you agree with some of the points that I made. If you don't agree, let me know exactly what you're looking forward to as well. And yeah, just get in the comments and let's talk about it, because it's exciting stuff and I cannot wait. Literally more excited for that than Christmas. Don't tell the kids, but yeah, more excited than that for the Christmas. All right. Anyway, as usual, give us a like, a comment, and if you're watching and you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button to follow along. There will be more content other than Civilization coming out soon, and yeah, love to have you all along for the journey. Anyway, I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one. See ya.